Hey, yo. Pop the hood. Pop the hood. Is that an alternator? What is that?
It's a turbo.
So what'd you do to this thing?
It's a P-1SC Procharger. It's like the most tame setup you can get. Literally just a bolt-on setup. All you need is injectors. You know, obviously this is an intercooled setup. You can't see it, but the intercooler comes up to about here. It's nothing too crazy. It's literally just, it's at 6 PSI right now.
And what did it make on the dyno?
It made 440 at 423 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay.
So it's really good numbers for the amount of boost. But.
Really stiff shifter, huh?
Oh yeah. You gotta be
and a really heavy clutch.
His clutch is really, really heavy. Even like grown men that have driven Mustangs like all their life are like, holy shit.
So the cool thing is Kyle here did the entire Procharger setup himself.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it. You know,
how long did that take?
It took me a week because I was waiting on parts, but I got the blower on in a day. It's really self-explanatory. What a ricer, am I right?
Yeah.
And his Euro crap.
But Kyle was, and still is, a Euro nerd.
Oh yeah.
But this is wild.
This is my baby.
Yep.
Always wanted a Mustang. I know all you Camaro guys and Corvette guys are gonna call me gay, but oh well. It is what it is.
So tell me about this Mach 1. What do we got?
So it's an 04 Mach 1. There was only a couple of these made in this color, year, blah, blah, blah. I don't sound like a Corvette guy, but it's kind of rare. It's got a 4-valve motor. The normal GTs had a 2-valve. You know, you can put a blower on those too, but the 4-valve has got a lot more volumetric efficiency, obviously, because 4 cans, 4 valves per cylinder.
Yep.
But
it's kind of related to the Terminator motor.
Yeah, it's similar.
Just different pistons, rods.
Yeah, it doesn't have the manly rods, but it's got, I want to say, a little more than 2 points of compression higher. Like this has 10 to 1 or 10.5 to 1 compression ratio.
And why did you choose the Procharger setup?
So with this specific engine, the only thing, I don't want to say it's bad about it, but because it doesn't have forged internals, it does have a forged crank, but that doesn't really help me out. The reason I went with a Procharger specifically on a stock motor is because the boost comes on later in the RPM. So if I put a Whipple or an Eaton or whatever, you know, whatever your choice is, the root style blowers have instant torque, instant power, so it's really rough on your rods and bottom end when you're low in the RPMs.
Okay.
So with the Procharger, it's way safer. Matter of fact, it's a lot easier to install. It's easier to tune. You don't have to worry about this and that. It's just.
Hey, what's the motor breaking point for this? If you wanted to push
reliably,
this, yeah.
I've seen people do 480, 490.
Like right around 500 wheel is.
Yeah. It's over 500 at the crank. Way over 500 at the crank.
Yeah.
But obviously, all you would have to do is throw a set of rods and pistons in it, and you can make 750 reliable with a good tune. I would have to get a new blower because this blower is only good for about 14, and that's pushing it.
Yeah. Let's hear that Procharger. Jeez.
That's about half throttle.
That feels good.
Yeah. It's definitely, like I said, it's nothing too crazy, but it's enough to make some cool noises and hurt a little bit of feelings.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get some drive-by clips, maybe some wheel spin, we don't know.
We'll see what happens.
I approve. That's pretty gnarly. That's very loud.
The fact that it was doing that with, are those marks?
Yeah, that was you.
Holy. Okay. Yeah, the fact that it's doing that on 315 Mickey Thompson's.
Yeah, it's spinning like crazy.
That's insane. Well, that I was kind of getting a little party mode, but if I like kept the wheel straight and I didn't bang it as hard, it would hook. I bet.
So what do you got for tires?
So they're just 315 Mickey Thompson. I think they're like the sport, it's like the street comps or whatever they call them.
Yep.
You know, nothing crazy. That's actually a pretty common tire when you do the 10.5 wide AFS Mach 1 wheels.
Do you have any suspension done to this?
It's got H&R lowering springs. It's got new aftermarket lower control arms. Oh yeah, factory traction bars. Solid rear end. No IRS like the Terminator. So.
Now, coming from the Euro world, this is a surprise to us that you ended up with a Mach 1, let alone that you boosted it.
Yeah.
Why did you do it, and how does it feel, and how does it compare to what you're used to? Because you've owned a lot of Volkswagens.
I've had a lot of cars in general, but this, you know, not just this specific model, but a Mustang in general is, it's kind of like one of those things that you've always wanted to have, you know, growing up. It's been on my calendar. It's always in video games. He had one.
Yes, he did.
Like father-like figure. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just something I've never experienced, something so raw, especially when it's a little older. It doesn't have any crazy creature comforts. You get in it and you just want to drive it. You don't. There's no heated seats. It's got power windows and it's got a stereo.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Harley, you know.
You get in it when it's a nice day and just enjoy it. You know, I mean, coming from the Volkswagen world, it's way more dramatic and just like I said, raw. You don't get that in a front-wheel drive car unless it's a turbo gear.
Yeah, as you were taking off, we saw the car kind of dancing a little bit.
I kind of had to fight a little bit.
Yeah, but this thing is gorgeous. We love Mustangs here. We love American muscle. As you know, this channel used to be purely American muscle.
That's
and
right.
We ended up with Euro cars, but respect to the American muscle. What do you want to do to it in the future?
Oh man, cosmetic stuff, of course. I want to get a Terminator front bumper.
Beautiful.
You know, side skirts, maybe the rear wing, but I kind of like it.
Yep.
Do a little bit of paint work here and there because it's 20 years old, and then built motor.
Build the motor.
T56, built rear ends, and then party mode. But that's a couple years down the road when I'm not, you know.
Do you see yourself holding on to this thing for a long time?
I'm not getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I got this car when I was before I turned 19 years old. It needed some work, it needed some love, but I'd rather see it on the road in the condition that it's in now. It's not terrible, but you know, it's not perfect compared to the other ones. I'd rather see it on the road than in a junkyard crushed.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. You know, people crash them or they lose motivation and they just get rid of it.
Yeah, how was it going from a Euro car to
it's a night and day experience.
This rear end on this year Mustang? How did you adjust to that? Because these things are pretty difficult to control.
Oh, dude.
Especially boosted.
I've had experience with rear-wheel drive cars, but when it comes to an older American car, you have to be ready.
And it's the live rear axle.
Yeah, solid rear end. It's got a heavy ass clutch. It's got a heavy ass tranny. You need to drive this car like a man. And this is coming from a 20-year-old. You need to drive it like a man.
The crazy thing is, Kyle is 20 years old. He has a Mark 7 GTI. He's owned every Volkswagen that you could think of. Yeah. And he ended up building a Procharged Mach 1 at 20 years old. Yeah. I think he bought this car at 19 years old.
Just before 19, yeah.
Unreal.
A lot of work.
Super proud of him for doing all this work himself. But this car is amazing. Props to you, buddy.
I'm going to keep going with it. It's never over like his car. You know, it's just one of those things, but I'm not going to go overkill.
Yeah.
Because you see people doing wide body kits and crazy aero. It's just...
No, keep it OEM plus.
OEM plus original. Yeah.
Just huge tires.
It's got that fat ass with the big tires.
Yep.
You know, I mean...
So you were bouncing off a limiter over there, and it sounds so good.
I usually go a little higher than that, but my tuner put it at 68 exactly, so that's...
6800.
6800. And a V8, which is... Today, you got Coyotes that are going almost 8,000 bucks.
Yeah.
In an older car, yeah, you know, I mean, it's definitely fun. It's fun. I got the gauges in there now.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have these before, huh?
No. I wanted to get all the safety stuff in there. But yeah, it's not perfect, but if it was perfect, I wouldn't want to drive it. Because most of these guys, that have these time capsules, they're in their garage, not driven.
Yeah, they don't drive them.
They take them out maybe once or twice a year.
How many miles are on this one?
100, a little over 120.
120.
On everything. Knock wood, this platform is actually pretty good. I'm surprised. I was never really a Ford guy, but when it comes to Mustangs, I've always been a fan. This is converting me, definitely.
Beautiful car, man. Thank you for taking it out.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned. We'll upload more about this Mustang. I'm positive this thing isn't even finished. Come close to finish, so we'll post some more videos. He's got to learn how to drive this thing the way it sits. This thing is that car over there is almost 600 wheel horsepower. That's DSG all-wheel drive. This thing is 450, 5-speed or 6-speed manual. 5-speed. This is a completely different territory.